Dear Sheree Mitchell, thank you for accepting this conversation about excellence in this beautiful Valverde Lisboa garden hotel. You are an American businesswoman living in Portugal and, as far as I know, sharing your time between Lisbon and Miami.
Yes.
And your business is very much focused on a very high-end market. Could you please tell us a little bit more about your business and why did you move to Lisbon and Portugal?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having me, Antonio. It's good to see you again. That's a very interesting story, and I could probably say that Portugal called me. It didn't initially set out to move to Portugal or even start a business in Portugal. It was a really interesting journey of traveling around the world and coming here and feeling immediately at home. And realizing almost 10 years ago, it was 2015, that at that time there was something really unique happening in Portugal. The economy was feeling a little less constricted and small businesses were popping up in a way that perhaps the Portuguese hadn't seen in the previous 10 years because of the economic difficulties that had occurred during the time. And I realized there was a great opportunity to have an upscale concierge tour operator destination management company in Portugal with the focus on the US market. And I think it was just a convergence of getting here at the right time, falling in love with the country, with the people, seeing the opportunity, and taking a huge bet and making it happen.
Based on your expertise and experience, how would you define excellence?
That's a great question. In preparation for this conversation with you, I thought a lot about how excellence is defined and even how my own definition of excellence has changed over the years with the help of working in this industry and always having to question if we are on the right path. And then even how things have changed since the pandemic, which greatly affected hospitality and tourism, as you know. I approach it in two ways now. So we have our universal definition of excellence, which would include attributes such as consistency and innovation and the mastery or the pursuit of mastery. And we also have, kind of being a trendsetter and influencer, as well as holding true to historic values in that particular industry or service or product.
Excellent.
In addition to that, I would also say we have maybe a slightly different approach to defining excellence, and it's totally based on the culture that one is coming from. And so the perspective that I would have as an American woman and how I define excellence would greatly differ from how a woman my same age and perhaps even same level of education and experience in the world would define it coming from a completely different country. So when we think of excellence with Immersa Global, we are guided by the universally accepted definition, but we also know what our clients are expecting as well as Americans traveling to Europe.
I see. That's a very interesting perspective. And this leads me to the next question, which would be, how different or not do you feel luxury and excellence are from the American or the US perspective and the Portuguese perspective? Are there two different excellences or luxuries?
Absolutely, yes, there totally are. In the US, we are much more individualistic culture and society, and so when we think of luxury and we think of excellence, there's usually more of a reflection on how am I benefiting from this experience or from this product. I'm always thinking of it from the lens of how it affects me directly. Whereas in Portugal, I feel it's more of a collective type of society. And I would say that excellence in luxury would be defined on how that product or service affects the whole, the collective.
The collective.
And in addition to that, Portugal also being part of old world versus US being new world, there's this whole cultural baggage, but in a good way, that the Portuguese also consider when they're thinking of things that are refined and luxurious. Think of your wine culture here, which is absolutely beautiful and has lasted or has been around for thousands of years thanks to the Romans. When a Portuguese is thinking about wine, they automatically are considering all of the years of history and influence that has gone into production. Whereas in the US, that's not necessarily our experience. So we do define it differently, which I think is the beauty of having conversations about excellence and luxury cross-culturally, because then we get to understand what are some of the markers for what gives you value in a certain product or service versus clients like ours.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, in Portugal and in Europe, I would say we value a lot more the cultural side of luxury rather than quality sometimes. I mean, culture comes first.
There's that heritage piece that you think about immediately, right? Yeah. Whereas a very young country like mine, that's not necessarily the first aspect that we think about when we consider luxury. It is the tangible, it's the experience, it's the sensorial, and it definitely reflects back on how I'm benefiting from this experience.
Do you feel that in Portugal, the way we feel and do excellence is very much embossed with authenticity?
Absolutely, and that's actually one of the magical words that we use when we describe.
Sometimes more than refinement?
I would say yes, there is definitely there's definitely much more of a focus on authenticity versus refinement. Things may be changing now. There are lots of changes culturally that are taking place in Portugal. And just in the 9, almost 10 years that I've been here, I've noticed that the focus is starting to shift a bit with so many international consumers that are now living and investing and spending time in Portugal. I see more of a focus on refinement starting to merge, which of course makes me really happy.
So your company, Immersa Global, works with Americans, American clients coming to Portugal to fill the country and the culture here. But could you please elaborate a little bit more on what exactly do you do?
Sure, yes. So Immersa Global is a boutique tour operator or destination management company, and we manage all of the services and logistics for a client's experience from arrival to departure. We design all the programs by scratch. Everything is brand new. We don't recycle programs. We work in a tailor-made fashion to meet our clients' needs, and we take care of every single element. And so as soon as the client arrives, they're in our care. All of the experiences are tailor-made to fit their expectations and meet their needs. And hopefully in the process they have an amazing time. They go back home and tell their families how amazing Portugal is. So we spend about 15 to 20 hours with clients. This is online or via phone, because I'm usually based here in Portugal, getting to know them. And we've now gotten to a point where we don't necessarily accept all of our clients or everyone who reaches out to work with us. It has to be a very specific type of person who's going to appreciate what we do, because not everyone finds value in having programs and experiences so tailor-made. And for those who do, we work very well. For those who don't, then there are other services available to them in the market.
I came across this interesting quote the other day from American football coach Joe Paterno. And apparently he said, and I quote, "Losing a game is heartbreaking, but losing your sense of excellence or worth is a tragedy." Found it quite interesting. So how does this resonate with you in your business?
Sure, yes. I think that pretty much sums it up. When you set out to do something at the mastery level, anything less than that is not what you want to do. It's not what you intended on. And so I can't imagine a version of Immersa Global that's less than excellent, or at least what we strive to provide on a daily basis. It's almost like losing your soul. And so I completely agree with that quote. We put our best foot forward every day as the default, not as a one-time occasion, right? So absolutely, you must keep excellence as the top priority, as the default in your operations.
So when you work with partners, local partners, service providers, to design the experiences for your American clients coming to Portugal, what do you look for in those service providers or partners?
Sure. Well, we go back to the 5 or 6 different attributes that defines kind of the global definition of excellence. We need consistency. We want to make sure that they've mastered their service or their product. But we also look for a growth mindset. We want to work with partners who are able to grow with us, because as we know, the definition of excellence based on different cultures is fluid. And a pandemic, or the situation that we dealt with back in 2020, 2021, really challenged us on how we're going to serve our clients. And even our clients' needs changed significantly during that time. So we want to work with partners who are flexible, who have a growth mindset, who are willing to change, who are innovative, and also very, very consistent at giving the best they can.
And never compromise on quality.
And never compromise on quality. Absolutely not. That has to be a part of the DNA of the company. They need to have a mindset that's fairly similar to ours. And I would probably even add one more, which is they need to be open to constructive criticism, because every now and then things do fail. You do have issues. So the important thing is being able to have open communication, sitting down, debriefing, going over the issues, and coming up with a way forward that's going to improve.
And learning.
And
from,
learning in
from
the process.
Mistakes. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, following this comment, which challenges do you see for Portugal as a country or as a destination and Portuguese companies? Which challenges do we need to overcome in order to achieve the level of excellence your clients are expecting?
I would say there are a few suggestions, and I must first start by saying that there's been such improvement over the past 9 years that I've been in Portugal. I mean, it's been amazing being able to witness this myself.
So you feel?
I feel that things are improving, absolutely. I'm so pleased with where we've gone, and I know that there's still a lot of room for growth and much more improvement, but at least the will is there, and it has really been prevalent over the past 9 years. This is a topic that we deal with on a regular basis when we encounter issues, or even when we're trying to train new suppliers on how to serve us, right? So that's having a very difficult conversation sometimes. You know, if you have the service or the product that we think we can work with, let us help you bring it up to standards that's going to meet the needs and expectations of our clients. My suggestion, if I were being asked by local companies that are targeting the type of clients that we work with, I would tell them that they have to create a culture within their businesses that's totally rooted in how excellence is defined. It cannot be approached as a one-time event. Excellence has to be consistent in the way that the company operates on a daily basis, without exceptions. What I would also suggest is that they learn how the different cultures that they are trying to attract define excellence as well. Because the problem that we run into is that there's a one-size-fits-all to doing excellence, whereas it does not always resonate with our clients.
You're right.
So
you're absolutely right.
That's from a micro. Of course, you know, there are more details that we could discuss. But from a higher perspective, it's pretty much that. The one size fits all for this level of client does not work at all. It has to be personalized.
Do you feel that in Portugal there is room for improvement in creating different services that your clients expect and you have not found yet in this country?
Yes, yes. This is a fun question.
Why is that?
There's so many different things that have been available and developed in other countries, specifically in this case in the U.S., in luxury tourism and hospitality that I think would work very well. I mean, Portugal is at a point now where the demand is rising for high-level product, and so a few examples that come to mind are permanent butler service and some of the high-end hotels.
Yes. We don't have that.
No,
you're right.
It does not exist. And when I've approached a couple of properties, the response that I get is, well, we have someone that we can hire and bring in. And that's not the same. It has to be someone who knows the property, is a part of that team on a daily basis. Another service is having super VIP treatment at the airport, right? As you may have experienced in some of your travels, where from the moment the plane lands, there is an attendant that's there for you in a limo, takes you to where you need. Someone has your luggage already waiting for you. They have a VIP line through immigration if you're crossing borders and so on.
I have felt that in Istanbul.
Yes.
The Raffles has it.
Yes, exactly.
The Raffles has it.
Yes. My first experience with that was when I was in my early 30s on my first trip to Israel. And so I had that treatment and thought, this is the way to travel, right? Yeah. And another service, we get a lot of requests for train rides. So there's kind of this, I think, luxurious idea of riding around a country or traveling between cities on a train. And Portugal has a very lovely high-speed train. However, it's not set up for luxury. There are services that could be added. I would love to speak with someone there to help them understand the wines that should be selected that are served on this ride, and perhaps foods that they could also make available, but just even luggage service, right? So if you were to ride the train, and I take the train all the time between Porto and Lisbon, you could arrive with your driver. There's someone there to meet you, to help you with your luggage, take you directly to your seat, and make sure you're comfortable before your ride. So,
but I guess up till now, we have not had this kind of client before, and that's probably why Portuguese companies have not developed this service. But there is room for that now. There is room for improvement now.
And I would probably challenge that notion and say you may have had this client before. You just didn't have the service available for them, and so the client adapted their expectations to the environment.
Yeah. But there is still one question I would like to ask you, dear Sheree Mitchell. What is your luxury?
My luxury is time. It's time with friends. It's time with lovely experiences that I get to share with friends. A lot of the people in my close community are also very busy, and so we don't always see each other regularly, and they live in different countries or constantly traveling. And so for me, the most luxurious moments are being on a vineyard with lovely wine, great food, and really rich conversations with friends.
Very interesting. Sheree Mitchell, thank you very much for this conversation.
Thank you. Lovely to see you. Thank you.